Hello, and welcome to your Thursday night edition of the Beaver News. I'm Conrad Cartmell.
And I am Dana Delgado. We're glad you could join us this evening. In May here at OSU, we recognize the Asian Pacific Islander Club. If you missed the root beer floats they gave out in the quad, here is Hayden Wilcox with more.
Today, May 1st, May is the month in which we celebrate the Asian Pacific Islander culture, and so this event is the kickoff to our Heritage Month, and it will lead into various events that will happen throughout the rest of the entire month that are put on by the Asian Pacific Cultural Center here on campus.
So pretty much all these posters and all the flyers and everything that's going out is to advertise for all the different Asian and Pacific Islander American groups that are on campus. They're trying to recruit members, they're trying to promote their activities and their causes, and trying to reach out to everybody.
I saw it on Facebook, so I saw the free root beer float at campus here. Very good. It's a hot, so root beer float is very good.
Of course, they're really grateful for it. It's really hot today. So they can get something to drink and check out our events and different organizations too.
So even within Asian and Pacific Islanders, the term, it encompasses a whole range of different cultures and experiences.
We're helping out two other organizations, India Water Project, which is to help fight clean water in India, and we have the House of Manjetti, which is to help victims of human sex trafficking. And we have a speaker from that organization that's coming to our general meeting tonight, 7:30 p.m. at the Westminster House, 23rd and Monroe tonight.
And what we strive to do is kind of provide a community for Hawaii students, just so that they don't get homesick. So it's just a community that they can associate with. Each year we put on a luau. We just finished about 2 weeks ago. It was our 59th luau.
The Asian Pacific Cultural Center is a center that's free to all students. Student fees go towards paying for it. And so students should really utilize the resource whether they identify as an Asian or a Pacific Islander or not. The center is open and welcomes to everyone and is a very community filled environment, and so we welcome all students to come through and get the experience for themselves.
After the break, learn the best way on how to save money on dining out in Corvallis.
Welcome back. Now, every college student can relate to being strapped for cash now and again, so we've got Javier Sanchez and Leo Williams here to help you cut costs in our weekly food segment.
As we all know, we're college students, and it's hard to stay on budget through midterms and finals. So Javier and I are going out to show you the hot spots to get coupons and cards to get food for cheaper.
We discovered the new Student Survival Kit app that can be used on iPhone and Android, which allows you to select restaurants to even automotive services. With just a tap of the finger, you have access to all sorts of coupons for many restaurants on Monroe.
So we're here off campus on Monroe, and as you saw when you learned from the new app, the Student Survival Guide, you can go to anywhere here on Monroe all the way up to the new Red Fox. With these new 5-star cards, all you have to do is walk into Yogurt Extreme or Roxy Dogs and sign up today, or online. It's as easy as that.
I hope you're not
By using your 5-star rewards card, the Student Survival Kit app, and Orange Rewards, they each give you several ways to save money on meals every day.
After we discovered the 5-star rewards card and the new Student Survival Kit app, we also thought about what about our student ID cards that we use. We all use them mostly as freshmen, but as time goes on, we forget that we still get 10% off every time we use them, either at the MU or anywhere on campus. It's really handy, especially studying at the library late at night or just grabbing something to go before you head home. Now that we know about all these fun rewards and coupons that we can get every day, it's time to go out and use them at our favorite places.
And there you have it, guys. Thank you for joining us, and we hope you're excited as we are to save money on your favorite places. This is Javier and Leah for your food segment at KBVR.
Thanks, Javier and Leah. We'll all try to keep our wallets a little heavier. Listening to the radio is something we all do every day without thinking twice. But have you ever wondered who the face is behind the voice? we caught up with KBVR DJ Jessica Seuss to see why she likes to be behind the microphone.
Have you ever wondered what it takes to be a DJ for a college radio station? It's easier than you think.
I was talking with my friend John Bourgeois, and he was talking about how he wanted to become a DJ, and my aunt and uncle are actually DJs back home. They're pretty well-known DJs, so I knew I always wanted to be part of music, and my brothers were in a band, so it wasn't until my friend, though, became a DJ here that I actually knew you could become a DJ without having to really try out or anything. It's just, you know, you come in, you learn how to do it, and then if you're, you know, basic qualifications, you can do it, and it's awesome because anyone can become a DJ. So if you have a passion for music, you can become a DJ at KBVR. So if you're not open to new music, even though I play mostly oldies, I try and find new artists who incorporate surf rock aspects. Then there's no point because the whole goal is to bring music to people. And if you're not passionate about music and finding the newest music, then you're not doing your job.
Most DJs today play music for the songs and thrills of being on air. For Jessica, being a DJ is about something else.
All my older siblings play instruments, and my brothers, a couple of my brothers were actually in a band, and that band played surf rock music, which isn't something you hear very often. My dad raised us on that stuff, and I realized it's something that a lot of people don't know about. So I thought that it'd be cool to bring that to Corvallis. So I do my show on surf rock, and I give a little bit of trivia about surf rock occasionally, so that's why I got started here. That's Surf
This is Ashley Van Pelt with your Beaver News.
Just Jesse here, and you're listening to the Traffic Jam.
Ever wonder why people in bandanas have been running all over campus? After the break, we're going to dig into this zombie apocalypse.
Humans vs. Zombies started on Monday of week 4 and ended this past Sunday. Beaver News reporter Julia Cameron has the story.
KBVR is out here today for Humans vs. Zombies, an apocalyptic game that has been occurring all week here on campus.
So I got started in Humans vs. Zombies in what we call Game 0, which was a test game in Wilson Hall only. And so I was actually the original zombie in that. Humans vs. Zombies is a week-long game of tag where there are two sides, humans and zombies. Humans try to defend themselves with Nerf blasters and socks and marshmallows. And when they hit a zombie, the zombie is stunned for 15 minutes and can't do anything with the game. Almost everyone starts off as a human, with the exception of a few original zombies who pretend to be human for the first couple of days. And then a zombie tries to grow the horde by tagging humans without getting stunned in the process. Most of the gameplay happens in the day-to-day, where people are just going between classes and having a bit more paranoia as they do so, as they're looking over their shoulders, wondering when the next zombie's going to try and get them. And so that's kind of what the game is to me, is a chance for people to mix up their experience on campus instead of just trudging to class every day. Now, it's an adrenaline rush as you get there.
Hey, humans! You have an order! Line up, shoulder to shoulder! Blaster to blaster now!
The game has kind of grown and shrunk over the years. Our peak game was the fall immediately before I became a moderator, where we had 600 players. And since then, we've been trying to get that number again, and we'll see what happens next game after people hear about how awesome this one was. For the most part, it's about having fun, adrenaline rushes, and mixing up your schedule.
I lead all of the deceased that we call the Chaos Corps. Last game, at the last final mission, we decided that the deceased, we were going to bring them all back in because they normally are just out of the game and don't get to have any fun, and that we'd bring them back in and that their job would be to just sow chaos and mayhem, and on the spot I dubbed them the Chaos Corps.
The most negative thing was the bomb threat on Thursday, which caused us to skip Thursday's mission and push that to Friday. But other than that, it's been pretty smooth sailing. HVG is just, I think it's getting better all the time, and it's a building community.
This is Julia Cameron reporting for KBVR.
Thanks, Julia. I'm here with Humans vs. Zombies, better known as HVZ, President Kieran Budendek, to discuss the details of everything HVZ. How's it going?
So far, so good.
So, HVZ is a really popular event, and it's a pretty big effort to put on, I'd imagine. What are some of the challenges that you face organizing it?
One of the main challenges is just finding time for all the people who put on HVZ to meet up and plan things out. The other thing is just getting the word out there. We're a small group, and we need our players to know when the game is.
Yeah, for sure. So, you introduced some new weapons this term. Specifically, you have pool noodles. What was the inspiration behind that move?
We've been meaning to implement pool noodles for quite some time. The reason they came into play now is we want to add some new flavor to the game with special zombies. The noodle zombie, or noodler, just adds some extra range to the zombies, and they can block darts and socks and marshmallows.
So you could say that they're noodling people?
Yes, you could.
Could say that. So, have you ever had a problem with bullying in the HVZ games? I've heard it's an issue, but I haven't heard of any specific cases.
It's been less of an issue. Actually, this game was very uneventful in that regard, but it does come up every now and then.
Okay. Thanks so much. We'll be right back after the break. Well, that sums up what went on in the fields last week, but for what went on here at KBVR, we have the recap.
Thank you. Welcome to the show that brings you excitement and amusement, that puts you on the edge of your seat with anticipation. From gaming on the couch to headbanging local music, this is the recap. This week on the recap, I will introduce to you, my loyal viewers, all of the excellence that is currently taking place here at KBVR TV Studios. A new In the Pines episode, updates of what Split Screen is up to, Beaver Sports Show coming back, and Locals Live, How We Did It, and a special invitation to get your tickets early for this year's Damn Jam. All right, let's start the show. As I said before, In the Pines is currently working to finish up and air their next installment of their show, keeping us all on our toes to see what incredible band they will introduce to us this time. This week on Split Screen, the group finally released their second episode as of yesterday, featuring Sonic All-Star Racing, tabletop gaming, and even Blacklight on the PC. If you missed that, you can catch it on YouTube anytime you like. Beaver Sports Show is diving into the lineup this week with their show airing right after the news today, so be sure to stick around and show off your Beaver pride right along with them. This week on Locals Live, the rock stars of this city got together and are currently working to get out their next show, set to release tomorrow. Make sure you catch that and rock out to the local music by the band Archer's Rise. Once again, we are graced with the amazing editing talent of our How We Did It team. The guys behind the magic show us, the viewers, how they created a shockwave effect in this week's episode, which is planned to release actually next Friday. Don't miss it. But if you do, you can always see it on YouTube. As promised, I will now be extending you an invitation to get your tickets early for this year's biggest local concert, Damn Jam. And by get your tickets, I mean mark your calendars, because this event is free. Just go to KBVR's Facebook page and find out how to register, and also to see just who will be appearing to perform at this epic event. Along with that invitation is another for those who would like to volunteer to help make this concert incredible by either running cables, working cameras, and even working a professional media truck. If any of those sounds like your kind of game, then you'll find out just how to do that on the Facebook page as well. That's all I have for you this week on the recap. I'm Maxwell Bettendorf, and I'm sending this back to the studio. Thank you. Oh, you're too kind.
Is getting to all of us, but Conrad and I went out into the quad to hear from students and staff about which part of midterms is most difficult for them. This week, Conrad and I are out here in the quad asking people about their midterms and how they're handling the stress.
I just took a midterm this morning, actually, and hopefully it went well.
Well, I had all of my midterms in a matter of 2 days, so I didn't get a lot of sleep.
A lot of classes, you just got to learn a lot of information really fast. Not so much applying these theories, it's just learning, taking in a lot of information.
The stressful part about midterms for me is putting them together and hoping that I didn't make any mistakes when I'm creating the midterm.
Like I had one for sewing today, and I have one for math tomorrow. You know, biology, so it's like, it gets really stressful.
Grading one particular class for midterms may take me 20 to 30 hours just to grade that one. So getting grades turned around quickly is also really stressful.
Then on Tuesday, I had 3 back-to-back, so it was very stressful.
I have a lab practical for my invertebrate biology class tomorrow. I'm not ready for.
The one that we just dreaded but finished is a parasite and pest and politic class.
Plagues, pests, and politics.
Yep.
I definitely put most of my eggs in the OChem midterm basket.
Math 251 midterm, which that sucked, but math sucks all around.
My most stressful midterm, I have to say right now, is definitely probably math. It's just one of the hardest classes to take.
Hopefully I can do a little bit more studying in preparation for next midterms.
Midterms suck. That's my thought on midterms.
Here at KBVR, we hope that midterms go well for you and you have a great rest of the term.
Make sure you get plenty of rest this next week and try to get a little sunshine to keep the stress at bay.
There are many different outlets for relieving stress in school. We talk with one student about how he finds release through the art form of ceramics.
The craft center on campus is open for all students interested in ceramics, but for Miles Dunfield, it's his home away from home.
It's just an outlet, you know, everyone needs outlets to go to de-stress and just be comfortable and calm. And I think obviously a lot of times we're studying, we don't always have a set schedule, we're kind of running around left and right, and it's nice just to come in here and just calm down and just really just be in touch with something besides like having your mind all scattered and everything. I connect while I'm doing it more so than the final product. When I'm throwing on the wheel, I'm really in tune with my whole body. I'm putting my whole effort into what I'm making, and so I can find a balance within that. Obviously, I get out a final piece, and I can relate to the pieces I made it, and it's the final product, so it shows how I can finish a piece and all that. But in the end, it's really about the process of it all and what goes into it through my own emotions, and I think that's the biggest thing. It's heat of the moment, me being involved right then and there. And also, as I work with it, I can almost feel like what the clay wants to do, and so I'll allow it to do that, and then I'll end up with a piece in there. So I don't really know what I'm going to throw. That's half the beauty of it. I'm going to get on there, and I'm going to do what my brain really thinks of at that moment, in the moment. Just in the end, if you have that creative mentality and you haven't really been able to express it, and you're looking and you're searching, come in here, end your own. We have a bunch of open studio hours and stuff that promotes that, and I think having that be all those open studio hours, it really lets people just come in and do their own thing, and that's the beauty of this place, and that's the beauty of art. Is, you know, you do your own thing, and there's no strict regiment schedule. It's all you, and I like that. I love it. It's the best part of art. All right, thank you.
You are welcome to stop by anytime and check it out. This is Marius Ibuye with KBVR News.
Be sure to go check out the Craft Center. There's something for everyone there, and it's a great way to let off some steam. Also up after the break, how did the OSU baseball team do in the Civil War? We'll let you know after these messages.
Oregon State baseball made us proud last week as we swept the Ducks 3-0. Marvin Lewis has the inside look.
It was a Civil War weekend here in Corvallis, and for you baseball fans, it was a great one. The Beavers swept the Ducks and put on quite a show for Beaver Nation. Game 1 was on Friday. The Beavers led in the first inning after Jeff Hendricks batted in a run to start it off for the Beavers. Then, in the 5th inning, Michael Conforto hit a double to left field that brought Hendricks in for another run. The Beavers scored again in the 6th inning off a home run from Caleb Hamilton. Kevin Garlick batted in a run for the Ducks in the 9th, but that would be all for the Ducks as Ben Welzer threw 7 strikeouts and the Beavers would go on to win 3-1. Sunday was Game 2. It took the Beavers a while to get going in this one. Sean Chase hit a single to center field which brought home Kyle Garlick for the Ducks, who took a 1-0 lead in the 2nd inning. They held that all the way until the 8th inning, and that's when the Beavers came out swinging and were not missing. Caleb Hamilton hit a single to left center that brought home Michael Conforto and Dylan Davis, and the Beavs took a 2-1 lead. But they didn't stop there. Later in that inning, Dylan Davis doubled to right center and brought Jeff Hendricks and Andy Peterson home, and the Beavs led 4-1. In the 9th inning, the Ducks looked to make a move to take the lead as the bases were loaded. After J.B. Bryant of the Ducks was walked, it brought a runner home, and the Ducks cut the Beavers' lead to 4-2. But Andrew Moore delivered one of his 7 strikeouts to seal the game. Sunday was the final game of the Civil War series, and the Beavers took care of business. They beat the Ducks by a final score of 7-1. Jace Fry threw 11 strikeouts, Michael Conforto had 2 RBIs, and Logan Ice had 2 RBIs as well. It was an impressive victory for the Beavers. The Beavers' next series will be against California, and their next home series will be against UCLA May 9th, 10th, and 11th. The Beavers now stand at 31-8 overall and are 14-4 in Pac-12 play. I'm Marvin Lewis. Thank you for watching this edition of Beaver News Sports. We'll see you next week.
Make sure to keep an eye on the Beavs this weekend as they take on Cal at Berkeley.
So we've seen a good lot of weather lately, but how does the weather forecast look for this weekend? We've got Conrad Greer here to get us in the loop.
What's the weather like, Hayden? It's hot. It's hot. Hey everyone, Conrad Greer here. And it was hot this week. 88 in fact, or around there, depending on where you were on campus. As always, KBVR and I are interested in your weekend weather forecast for popular destination travels around the state. But first, Corvallis this weekend, it's going to be raining again. The clouds will return. It's going to be about the 60s. It was nice while it lasted. Newport will have clouds once again with temperatures in the 50s. The beaches will experience some decent wind bursts. Portland and Salem will be seeing likely showers with temperatures in the low 60s. The clouds will be thick and the gorge winds will bite. Bend will be unfazed for the start of the weekend, developing into rain on Sunday with temperatures in the high 50s. Roseburg will see sun until late Sunday with evening showers moving in. Temperatures will drop to the mid-40s. It's a little chilly. Back in Corvallis for week 6, the rain unfortunately is going to continue. Temperatures will be in the 60s, and even at this point I don't know for how long. But I'm sure, as always, the sun will return, because keeping the sun shining here, I'm Conrad Greer. Back to you in the studio.
It's a bummer the weather isn't looking too hot this weekend. As many of you know, tomorrow is the start of Mom's Weekend. We're here with Katie Karcher to talk about the events in store for the weekend. How's it going, Katie?
Good, how are you?
Good. So we just want to hear kind of about what your involvement is with Mom's Weekend, and if you could just tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, of course. So I am a co-coordinator for Mom's Weekend. I work with MUPC, which is Memorial Union Program Council, and we put on a lot of the large-scale events here on campus. With Mom's Weekend, we've really done, just a lot of planning for the weekend. We started off with coming up with a theme, which is Once Upon a Time. We kind of wanted to do that just because Mom's Weekend is really meaningful for a lot of people that are involved with it. So it's just a really good way to kind of capture the essence of that.
Absolutely. So can you kind of give us a play-by-play? What's the plan for Friday?
Friday, we don't have a ton going on. We're going to have an MUPC booth kind of open in the MU Concourse, which is going to have a lot of our merchandise and then programs. And the programs are actually going to have information for all the events going on campus. A lot of organizations here take a lot of time to prepare for this weekend. So if you want to know what's going on throughout the weekend, programs are a really good thing to pick up.
Awesome. And what about for Saturday?
Saturday, we're really busy. We have a breakfast that morning featuring a former OSU basketball player. Then we have 2 fashion shows going on, which their theme is Darker Ever After. So it's like a Grimm Brothers twist on all of our classic fairy tales. And then a comedy show that night, which is going to be amazing. We have 3 great comedians coming. They have really good reviews, and I know our staff's really excited. And then throughout the day, we also have the art festival and quad entertainment going on in the MU Quad, so definitely don't miss it.
Great. And what about for the last day? What's going on Sunday?
Sunday, ISOSU, it has their spring festival. They're going to have a lot of food, a lot of entertainment, so it should be a really fun day as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We're really looking forward to it and appreciate your help.
Awesome. You guys are so welcome.
We hope you all have a blast with your moms this weekend, and we will see you next week. To stay updated, watch us on YouTube, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter @Beaver News. Have a great night.